Here's the message of this video, very, very important video. The message is, under no circumstances do what I'm going to be speaking about. Don't do this. What is it? Don't be evil. People, it's quite simple really. We've been told this for millennia. But let's have a little look at what some of this evil can be and how it manifests, and what sort of people do evil. Well, we all know of people that have done evil, don't we? Notorious murderers and all that different sort of thing. Evil. But there's evil on other levels. And in recent times, you know that I've been speaking about the evil of narcissists. Narcissists have a very, very peculiar way with evil. A very sly, very conniving, mind game variety of evil. And they do it forever. That's just what they do. And if you've looked into narcissism, people, then you'll see that you can't help but concluding that these narcissists, like covert narcissists or grandiose narcissists, they are abject evil. Everything about them is a pretense, and they're very, very good. They're very good, lots of them. Very charismatic and often good looking and inspiring in some region. But on an individual basis, when they want to get their hooks into you, they're evil. And the vast majority of people around them won't see that, because they don't see the evil that they do in closed doors. Just the little things, and lots of people go, oh, this person doesn't mean this or doesn't mean that. And you'd think that if you weren't subject to it, but by the time you've been subject to it and the pattern's been formed, you know what's going on. And so anybody that's not familiar with narcissism, I would seriously beseech you to educate yourselves about that, because if you fall foul and victim to one of these, they will shock you to your core. And so I had one such encounter, and it went on for 6 years, until in the end it ended by the grace of God. It ended by the grace of God, people. Because if it didn't end by the grace of God in such a dramatic way, it would still be going on today. And so I knew that the hand of God saved me. And the hand of God is very, very significant in this story of mine, which one day I'll write about in a book. But this video isn't necessarily about that. It's about other facets of evil. Now, being a YouTube content provider, we're all given to trolls. And trolling used to be a thing that was really big a few years ago. But now it's much more harder for trolls to exist, because we have the facility on YouTube which is hide all content or hide all comments from this person, or flag this person, or block this person who's trolling you. So on my channel, because I don't give free rein to anyone that wants to talk about me. Oh, this guy thinks is this, or this guy thinks is that. And invariably it was the Jesus brigade, you know. The Jesus. And so I would block lots of people. And I would throw them in what I coined as the snake pit, which is there's a little sector on your YouTube channel which, when you block people, all these names go into this blocked region, and you can let them out if you want to. And so what I would do from time to time, I would call amnesty, and I would say I'm calling an amnesty on the snake pit victims. Give people the opportunity to learn and to redeem themselves. It's like being in solitary confinement, and lots of people find it very, very very frustrating if they like my videos and then they get banned from commenting because they've overstepped certain parameters when they've got too personal, and start speaking ad hominem, personal attacks, and which isn't related to the context or contents of the video. So I put people in the snake pit, and then every 6 months or a year I'd have an amnesty and I'd let them back out again. Some people will end up back in the snake pit within an instant, first couple of comments, because they're so full of this hate and vitriol, and jealousy and envy, and all of these nasty attributes that are a road to hell for the human being. But people who are filled with hate and jealousy and all those things, well, they have very limited consciousness, and they don't know the ramifications of what they're doing, because when they are hating, it is their body and their mind which is generating the hate, and the hate resides within them, and they think they're hating on somebody else, just writing a comment. And if it comes to me, for instance, I'll read the comment and I'll go, you're obviously a sick individual, I wish I could help you, but this channel isn't about that. You could write an email to me and ask me if I want to give you therapy, and I'd do that. But so I would throw this person in the snake pit, because I consider they're irredeemable. Now, when I get people new trolls and they've got something to say, then I will engage with them very reasonably. If someone comes at me, hey, you're an idiot, you're an egotist, and this, that, and the other, then I'll go, well, that's the kettle calling the teapot, isn't it? Because if you weren't an idiot and an egotist, then you wouldn't be writing such stuff like that. What do you hope to gain? I mean, do you think you're going to be affecting me? Do you think you're going to be causing me suffering or pain? What exactly do you think you're going to be doing? All you're doing basically is alleviating your hate and your frustration. You think by tapping a few fingers on a computer that it alleviates your hate, but in actual fact it doesn't. You may think it does for a few seconds, but you're the one with the hate, and you are going to keep the hate. You're going to keep feeding and nurturing the hate, and so it doesn't matter to anybody else. I don't feel your hate, I just see how silly you are. But what I will say is that these days I get very, very few. The odd person, wants to get a little bit animated about things that I've said, but then I offer them a conversation to come and do a Google Meet, and they can tell all my viewers what they think about that particular subject and me, but they never do. They never come. They don't have the balls for that, and they go away. And but with this facility, I've got the facility whereby it keeps all comments until they've been vetted. So if you put a comment down and you don't see it instantly on the channel, then it's because I haven't seen it and I haven't uploaded it. And if you're in America and the time differences and the other, then your comments can stay in this hidden section for several hours overnight until I wake up in the morning. Then I'll put the comments, if they are appropriate, on the channel. So that stops trolls. And what also stops trolls is Google's algorithms, because they stop you saying idiot and all these different sorts of things. You can't even say idiot really most days. There's many things you can't say, and many of you will know that your comments disappear, and you don't know why. You don't know what actually you've said, which was so nefarious and so potentially traumatizing to anybody that reads that comment. But also what I will say is lots of people, they say their comments is gone, and I was subject to this also, because I didn't know. But when you click on the comments, above the comments you'll get something which says like sort, and you press on sort and it goes newest first or oldest first or something like that. Well, you have to click newest first, and when you click newest first, well, all the comments that are there will come up. Now there are some, because you can say this video's got 15 comments and then you'll only read 11, so 4 comments are gone. Well, that's Google's algorithm. But most of the comments are there if you click on the newest first. So that's very interesting, and I just turned somebody onto that in recent times, because it's very disappointing when you write lengthy comments and then you think that they're just taken away. It's disheartening, isn't it? And most people just want to give up. So I don't get hardly any of that, and I'm always accommodating. Even if they start out with the greatest of vitriol, I will offer everybody the facility to come to Google Meet with me. A public one, never private, public. So whatever you got to say, you'll stand by it because it's going public. And then of course they don't, and so you have to realise that, well, they're just talking silly, and they're just like, want to express some jealousy or envy or this and the other, but they don't want to say it publicly because they look ridiculous. So all that's going on, right? So trolls pretty well things of the past, but you do get trolls which, if you block from their comments from going on the channel, they know that they can still send you a message and you'll see it. And so I have one person that's been doing this for years, and this person is a very, very sick individual, and it goes back a long time. Literally, it goes back 8-10 years probably, and he will create new accounts just to send me one message, just to ha 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 ha, and spitting venom and evil. And I look at that and I go, well, I've got a vision in my mind's eye of the sort of person this sort of stuff comes from. And what I feel, because I'm very intuitive and I feel what people are like, what I feel about this person is that he is housebound, he's most certainly wheelchair bound, he's very, very obese, he's ugly, and he doesn't have anything going for him at all. He's sad and he's lonely, and he spends the entirety of his day on the internet because there's nothing else. So maybe it's games as well as internet, but that's all he does. And he's gathered up a lot of information, and in a academic way, he's intelligent and he can put intellectual emails down. But what he started to do was to try to take over my channel. And he would write literally A4 size comments on every video, and I'm like, jeepers creepers, you've obviously got a lot of time on your hands. And this is why I've concluded that he is sick, he's wheelchair bound, because that's where his pain's coming from. Because he looks at me and he goes, this bastard, he's got everything, he's got legs, he's got muscles, he's fit, he's intelligent, he's good looking, all the women love him and all this sort of thing. And so some people just have to hate. So I've called him Mr. Glass. Now, for those of you that have seen this movie with Samuel L. Jackson, who is wheelchair bound, he's called Mr. Glass because he's got this condition whereby his bones are very brittle, and just to stand up or something like that, he could break a bone. And then Bruce Willis plays this guy who has never been ill in his life, and he's been in all different sorts of accidents and nothing, car crashes where the car's turned over and he doesn't even get a scratch on him. And so he was in this train crash which Mr. Glass created. He did something to the train, made it crash, and Bruce Willis was the only survivor, something like that, loosely remembered. And so Bruce Willis is talking to his wife and going, why is this? It's really bizarre. All those people dead and not even a scratch on me. Not even a scratch on me. He's looking in the mirror. Not even a scratch. Everybody else is dead. And so it's a superhero movie. Bruce Willis is the indestructible one, and Mr. Glass is the one that's suffering in pain and bittered and has nothing in his life save for causing chaos. And so he started to attack this person because he started to see that there's a pattern, that this one was a superhero. And so it's kind of like a comic book movie of the goodie and the baddie and the duels that go on. So this guy that's always sending me these messages is Mr. Glass. He's a very unfortunate, sick individual, riddled with pain and hate and all the rest of it, and he just sees me as something that in his dreams he would love to be. But you see, if you can't have that which you love, then there's a very, very fine line before you want to destroy it. And so he wanted me to adore him in kind of like a homosexual way. I wouldn't doubt whether he was homosexual as well, because there was something very, 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 very odd that he really needed my full undivided attention, and he's needed this for the past 8 or 10 years, people. It is incessant, constant, and he must have set up now about 50 different channels. You set up a YouTube channel, anonymous one, just to send me one video, and I just flagged that. Sorry, one comment. I just flagged that, and block him, and either Google will block that particular channel, or I'll block him a few times and just keep flagging, and then he'll get blocked, you see. But he just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. But not only does he do that, whenever I speak with people, and I've got a relationship with people, like lots of people I've spoken to, you'll know without naming names, this person will try to find their email, and if they've got a channel, then he will start commenting and talking shit about me. And it's funny actually, because the people who are my viewers and who I talk to, who actually like me, they send me emails and say, who's this guy? Do you know this guy? He's talking shit about you. And I'm like, oh, that's Mr. Glass. He's been around forever. He is an exceedingly sick individual. And he goes, yeah, I thought so. Fucking hell, anyway, I'll block him. And so that's what they do. Initially, if they're not aware of this, then they'll listen. Oh, what's he saying about the Awake and Brave? Oh, is that true? Oh, this, that and the other. But then they start to go, hang on, what's going on here? I know the Awake and Brave. I'm talking to him. I've watched so many of his videos. This guy just seems like a troll. He seems bitter and twisted. Some sort of like CIA bot just trying to destroy the Awake and Brave. Because when we get just even a little bit popular, I mean, I'm not even popular by any stretch of the imagination, but when you get people like Russell Brand, certain institutions, organisations, powers that be want to take people down. So what do? They invent things about rape and sexual assault, and they're so desperate they have to go back 24 years. So Russell Brand recently has been charged with rape or sexual inappropriate sexual behaviour, this and the other. And Russell Brand goes, look, I did a lot of shit when I was snorting coke and on drugs and addicted to alcohol, sex and all that sort of thing, but I never raped anybody. And in that fraternity of Hollywood and coke and drugs and all that, well, you can imagine what's going on, and you can imagine that any woman would be throwing their knickers at someone like Russell Brand. And so of course this is what happened. But then when you get people like some sort of agency, some nefarious agency, they are looking through all the information and whatever videos and stories and this, that and the other to see women that have had relationships with Russell Brand, and then they will approach them, did anything inappropriate ever happen? And so they would have done this hundreds and hundreds of times wherever possible, and then they'll find one or two, and then they'll try and make a case on that. Now what they're trying to do obviously is ruin Russell Brand's reputation, but they'll never do that. All they'll ever do is create his increase his popularity, create intrigue, because everyone's going to want to know, oh, what's happening with Russell Brand, or did he do this, or did he, it's like the Johnny Depp and Amanda Heard, everybody's tuning in. And so what I will say to this particular troll is that every single line you write about me, you're doing me a favour. Because I am Bruce Willis, I'm indestructible, I am protected. There's nothing you will ever be able to do to me which is going to affect me in an adverse way. All it's ever going to do is give me power. And everybody that you talk to and everybody you try and slag me off, they all know what you are. You're an idiot, sick individual, and they've just got more respect for me for putting my stuff out there unedited and having the strength to deal with idiots like this person. And so let's just take Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a convicted rapist. There's no doubt about it. He pleaded guilty to it, a convicted rapist. But who doesn't love Mike Tyson. Everybody loves Mike Tyson. Everybody wants Mike Tyson on their podcast and all the rest of it. You cannot affect these people. Some people are protected individuals, and it doesn't matter what anybody does to them, you will never harm them. You will only ever increase their popularity. And there's one famous writer, Orson Welles maybe, said something like, all information is good information, or all news is good news, because it doesn't matter how people are bad-mouthing you, what they want to say about you, he's this and he's that and he's disgusting, he's vile. All that does is it brings the world's focal attention onto that person. It increases the intrigue, and then they'll start looking at their YouTube channel or reading their books and going to their concerts and this, that and the other. And in no time at all, they've forgotten about, what was it that there was something said? Oh, well, he was a rapist, or he assaulted someone, or he's an embezzler. Oh, fucking whatever. So it's fucking life, innit? But, he's really interesting. That's all it does. It just increases the interest and the intrigue. And so I'm talking to you now, Mr. Glass, because he watches every single one of my videos religiously, deep sick individual, but I'm flattered in a way that you find me so stimulating, so interesting, and you would really like to be like me. Out of all the people on the world, you've chose me who you would want to be like. And because I rejected you, because he would write, you would write pages and pages and pages, and it would be becoming more and more in the obverse of what I was saying, and you more and more wanted to impress upon me that you were right and I was wrong. And then if I didn't accept it, on lots of occasions I wouldn't, because I don't say things without thinking about them, and then you would be speaking to my viewers and trying to rally up support on my channel against me, and then people will be thumbing up his video. Yes, the Wake and Brave can be a meanie. Oh yes, I do think he's got a big ego, and this, that and the other, and that's what this guy loved. He thrived on that. And I said to him, I said, listen, look, you're very articulate and you've got your own ideas, obviously, so my advice to you is to go and create your own channel, because you're not being a parasite on this one. And the last thing any reasonably intelligent and healthy human being is going to do is not allow people to incessantly badmouth them on their channel. Who's going to do that? It's like throwing a party and having gate crashes and not asking them to leave. You don't do it, do you? So but he cannot create his own YouTube channel because he's a wheelchair freak and he's ugly and he's probably got two teeth in his head and the rest are brown and his breath is vile and his armpits are stinking and little wiener of a cock and all this sort of thing. This guy's got nothing going for him. That's why he's filled with the attributes of the devil. But you get them, don't you? You get them. But like I say, it doesn't matter to me. I've been around the world, people. 62 this year, and there's not a fucking scratch or mark on my body. Nobody's ever put a scar on my body. Nobody's ever knocked a tooth out, broke my nose, nothing. Nobody's ever caused me a bruise. I've never in my whole life had a bruise from any of the fights I've been in. I'm a protected individual. And so as soon as you realise that, the better. And as soon as you realise that what you are doing by continuously hating on me, you're just making yourself more and more sick. And so I would just, highly recommend that you just stop that. You just stop it and you just find something more beneficial to do. Comment on people's channels in a useful way. What is all this nonsense? You're never ever going to hurt me. You're never ever going to affect me in an adverse way. And for the viewer, let me tell you now, this person tries in any conceivable way. He goes to any possible length and he will watch any of my videos and he will see where he can affect me in an adverse way, writing to the government or notifying the police or, writing to all of my viewers. All this, he'll try everything endlessly. But what of it? What's come of it? Nothing. Nothing's come of it, mate. And so The only reason I'm making a video now and putting your name, Mr. Glass, up in lights is because viewers will find it interesting. And they'll probably be aware of some such sickos in their lives themselves. And, you know, just to open your eyes and just to realise that there are some very, very sick people. And the vast majority of these sick people are very covert. Very covert. But you can spot them by looking how unhealthy they are most of the time, because if they're really, really unhealthy, then they're full of evil, they're full of bitterness, they're full of hate, they're full of jealousy, envy, and all that different sorts of stuff, and that eats them away. And of course you can see that reflects on the outer extremities of their body. So they're not going to be fit and healthy, they're not going to be good looking, they're not going to have charisma, they're not going to have charisma at all. These varieties of sick individuals, they are going to be the sort of person nobody pays any attention to, nobody wants to be around. And that's why I'm absolutely positive that this guy's housebound and wheelchair bound. And that's why he can spend 24 hours a day reveling in his own bitterness. And so when you look at these superhero movies, well, people have known about this forever. That you can't affect the superhero. You can challenge him, but you'll never get close to him. You'll always end up, in bondage yourself. And so what I'm saying to you people is, don't do evil. Don't have evil thoughts. If you have a bone of contention with someone, then it is perfectly reasonable for you to level that with that person. Don't be talking about this person behind their back. Don't be doing whatever sneaky shit and all the rest of it, laying traps. Don't be doing any of that, because the karma is going to come and kick you in the ass. And that's why this sick individual is so sick, because he's not realised that yet. As smart as he thinks he is, he thinks he's really smart, and he thinks he's much smarter than me, and he always wanted me to acknowledge, oh yes, you're smarter than me, oh yes, I didn't see that, and this, that and the other. But because I didn't do that, then his ego turned into fury, and now bitterness and abject hate, real evil hate, and he wants to destroy me. Absolutely, but it will never happen. It will never happen. So yeah, all these superheroes and the comics, they're all about that. We've known about that forever. Buddhist philosophy has known about it forever. They call it karma. Shit is coming down on you. That's why you are like you are, dude, because for all what you've done, the shit just keeps coming back on you. It isn't going anywhere else. Your hate isn't touching me. It's staying with you, bro, and it's eating you from the inside out. So in the previous video, I was speaking about our environment, our external environment and our internal environment, which basically is our internal environment, because there is no external environment, because everything goes on in here, doesn't it? It all goes on. The whole world goes on in here, people. So effectively there is no world out there. And so if we are not very, very careful and nurture our internal environment, then it becomes toxic. It becomes a toxic waste ground, and everything that comes out of your body is toxic. And so that's why you, Mr. Glass, are toxic. And you'll probably, you're going to die pretty soon because of your obesity, because of your diabetes, because of your weak heart and all that sort of thing, because you're wheelchair bound, you've never done any exercise and all that sort of stuff. But if you at least started to change the way your mind was and the way your proverbial heart is, then you would start producing helper T cells in your body, which would attack the free radicals. But at this moment in time, you are absolutely riddled with free radicals, bro. And I would tell you, so you guys, viewers, some of the things that he's been doing, but I'm not giving him the energy or the gratification, other than to say that he will try absolutely everything. There's nothing he won't try. There's no evil lengths he would go to. And so, you know, it is what it is. But just to have an awareness about that is useful. And like I say, you know, he's the only one in all these years that's consistent, that just lives to hate me. And, you know, in the past, if I say things about Jesus, oh, that's a soft spot with lots of people when they're idiots and ill-informed and all that. And out of all the people I put in the snake pit, I think I let out about a dozen a few months ago. One had to go back in, and this was some Jesus guy. He had some sort of Jesus image, and he called himself Jesus the Saviour or some fucking thing. And as soon as I let him out, it was just nasty and evil. And I'm like, isn't that the thing? The person that would consider himself in line with the Saviour, and the Saviour is in his heart because he's opened his heart to the Saviour and this, that and the other, and yet they're spitting so much vitriol. Well, it's an absurdity, isn't it? It's a complete paradox when people actually think that they, you know, are one with Jesus and they're doing everything that Jesus wants them to do, and yet their ego runs away with them in such an obnoxious and destructive way. They don't even have awareness of that. So people like that, they're irredeemable. So I just threw him back in the snake pit, never to come out again. But what I found doing, you see, when you are a YouTube provider, like me, who doesn't have any holds barred, then you tend to attract weirdos and freaks and ill people. And I've had many over, you know, the course of 16 years. And it's been a great education. And I've always, you know, let them say whatever they want to say, up until a point whereby it becomes repetitive and boring, and we're not getting anything else from it. But I always engage with them to see where they are, and I'm analysing them, and I see if I can redeem them. I often try to redeem them, bring them back round by softening, you know, because lots of people, what they want is they want me to respect them. And they want me to go, yeah, that's a great comment, and oh, I fully agree with that. If I don't do that, then it's like, oh, you know, you just want to be the teacher, and you know, you don't want to listen to anybody else. And I'm like, no, I do want to listen to people. I'm always telling you I want to listen to people, but unless you've really got your shit together and you're making sense, then I'm not going to listen to you. So you've got to get outside of your delusions, because when people write comments, I can barely read them on lots of occasions because they just don't make any sense. And then I'll write back and I'll say, look, can you rewrite that again? Because I've got no idea what you're trying to say. Or if they're using this word and that word, I'll go, well, look, this word isn't in context. Oh, well, maybe I put the wrong word down. Well, fucking hell, if you're going to be speaking with me, you can't be putting the wrong fucking words down, because I'm analysing every single word, and I'm looking at the etymology. I'm looking at what the fucking words mean and what you're trying to say. So if you're putting words down that you don't even know what the fucking mean, then don't be writing to me. That's what I'm saying, bro. There's no point, is there? And so, you know, this is the thing. People, you know, expect me to deal with them, the kid gloves, and give them utmost respect. And I say, look, I don't see a picture of a human being. I don't see the name of a human being. All I see is text, and for all I know, it could be a bot or a sick individual, or a fucking idiot, and this, that, and the other. And you want me just, oh, I respect all you, like idiots do on YouTube. Hello, beautiful viewers, wonderful viewers, beautiful people. Oh, don't make me vomit. Don't make me fucking vomit. There is so much scum out there that if you really fucking stop to think about it, you'd want to get off this fucking planet in an instant. You really would. And so I'm always saying, look, people, some of you write, you know, good comments, and I reply to you in a respectful way because that's what it warrants. But if you don't write respectful or good comments, then you're going to get what you give me. I'm just going to reply what you give me. And so if you're not getting all the adoration from the Awake and Brave, or I'm not commenting anymore, well, you've not made an impact, have you? So you need to try harder. Or if you can't express yourself in language, maybe if English isn't your first language, then maybe come and have a Google Meet with me. And I'm always welcoming anybody. Anybody can come and have a Google Meet with me. What YouTubers could you say about that? Who offers that facility? No one. No one offers that facility. People, don't be doing evil. Be very, very careful of your thoughts, because if you are thinking evil about anybody, the evil is within you. It's all in here and in here, whatever you want to think about it. The evil isn't on them, it isn't within them. You are the evil. You are the origin of evil, you are the host of evil, you are the creator of evil, you embody evil. And so you can think evil about whoever you want to, but invariably it won't touch them. And if you want to say evil things about me, it won't penetrate at all. It won't even come close. And you're ridiculous for even thinking that you can get to me in any way like that. What part of I'm a mountain don't you understand? What part of I am God don't you understand? What part of I am the cosmos don't you understand? You see? And so then you could say, oh, well, if you're God in the cosmos, then I'm a part of you. Yeah, you're a part of me, aren't you? You're that little scratchy piece of shit around an arsehole on a hot summer's day. That's what you are, mate. Anyway, karma, people. We have to be very, very careful. And we have to know how things affect our internal environment. Because this life really, really, really is about our environment. And how many of you have got anxious thoughts and depression and all these different sorts of things? And I'll make videos about that, and I won't be very sympathetic at all, because I'm pretty sure that you're not doing enough to help yourself. Because people around me who I've known throughout the years who have had bouts of depression and anxiety and this, that and the other, if they wanted to, they could work their way out of it. If they wanted to wallow in their self-pity and just project their pain and hate onto the world, then they just get worse and worse and worse. And it's as clear as day. How many of you have got these haters in your family or your friend circle or whatever? Everything that comes out of their mouth is just hate, and it's just shit, and it's vile. And then you look at their bodies and you go, well, that's why you look like that, isn't it? That's why you got nothing going for you. That's why you got no charisma, and you got no friends, and all the rest of it. Well, we all know that we are what we eat. But I think now people are starting to get their heads around in the 21st century that we are what we think. We really, really are what we think. So think about that, people. And if you've got anything interesting to say, and you're not too scared and intimidated, will the Awakened Brave? Ooh, what will the Awakened Brave say about this? Ooh. Come on, man up. What's the worst that can happen? I'll just go, you're an idiot. So what? You could say to yourself, I'm not an idiot. I'm a philosopher at university, or I'm this and that. You just don't understand me. Whatever, then wouldn't touch you, would it? So don't be fear-based. You see, this book I'm reading at this moment in time, I'm doing the series on the way of mastery. One of the things in there is emphatic about. There's no such thing as fear. You are God. You are the cosmos. You are the Christ. You are Holy Spirit. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of your imagination. That's all you're afraid of, people. Afraid of people's words, afraid of people's text. Really? You're not realising your cosmic God consciousness, are you, to be honest? So maybe you should work on that a little bit more.